Hello, YouTube. How's everybody doing today? This is Mr. Talent Washington, and today we are going to be installing Windows 98 Second Edition on Virtual PC. So I'm getting ready to open a Virtual PC right now, and I'm going to create a new virtual machine for Windows 98. So usually, with virtual machine, everything is kind of already pre-set up. They already got kind of operating systems on there for like the minimum system requirements for the time. So I'm just going to go with the standard settings when it comes to Windows 98. I'm just going to name my virtual PC Windows 98, and I'm going to go with the settings that are already preset. All right. We created the virtual machine for the Win 98. So now we're going to start it, and I'm going to insert my favorite program, Partitioning Commander, and we are going to create a partition for the Windows 98, which is going to be file system FAT32. And just give it a few minutes, and once this virtual machine run through this process, and we're going to load up the program. All right. Once again, I got the partitioning commander and CD drive, so I'm gonna hit enter, and it's going to load into the program. So we go down to where it says partition the command or restart, hit enter, let it load up. All right, when you go to the bottom, just hit next. And you want to go to manual partitioning, and you want to hit up the top left where it says create, and hit next, and hit next, and hit proceed. And it is generating a FAT32 file system. So Windows 98 will be able to read it when we enter setup. All right, so now that's over. We're going to take the program out, and we are going to stick in a Windows 98 boot disk. Well, I'm sticking in a Windows 98 boot CD, but a floppy disk or CD disk, either one will work. And there we go. Windows 98 boot CD. And a virtual machine, make sure you hit at the top where it says CD use physical CD drive. All right, so once again, we got 98 boot CD in the CD drive. So just hit enter and let it boot up. All right, so it booted up the CD-ROM drive, so we can switch it over to the R drive, and we can stick in the Windows 98 CD for the go to setup. So the boot drive booted up the CD drive, so Windows 98 can recognize the CD drive from the boot. So sticking in Windows 98. And once you switch from A to R for the CD driver and got the CD in, you're going to want to type in setup so it can be accessed from the CD. All right, once you see this message pop up, you're going to want to hit enter, and it's going to boot into ScanDisk, and it's going to start to scan your hard drive. All right, so now we have booted up into Windows 98 Setup Wizard. So just give it a few seconds as the Setup Wizard opens up. All right, so just follow the on-screen instructions like the product key and basic information coming up in order for the get to the part to where Windows is going to copy the files to your hard drive. All right. So this version of Windows 98 Second Edition, this is a upgrade CD install. It's not the full version. So what we're going to have to do, setup is asking for a compliance check. It needs to see a previous version of Windows. So if you have like Windows 95 or Windows 3.1 or older version of Windows, you just need to stick it in the CD drive. Take Windows 98, stick 95 in the CD drive, and hit browse, and go to the CD drive on the browse. And what the computer is going to do is going to run a compliance check to make sure that this is a previous version of Windows in order for it to continue the setup process. So it is running the compliance check right now off the Windows 95 CD. All right, the compliance check has finished, and take the old version of Windows 95 or 3.1, whatever CD you stuck in, and stick Windows 98 back in, and we are going to continue the setup process. All right, so just continue to go with the instructions. The directory is going to be installed in C Windows. Just go with typical settings. And you can put a username. I usually just put a user. and install the most common components. You don't have to create a startup disk. It's up to you. Um, but if you do, just hit Nets, and then when the screen pops up, hit cancel. Hit OK. Hit Nets. And then we got to the part where the files is actually going to be copied to your hard drive to get it prepared to run Windows 98. So this part is pretty lengthy. It takes about 30-20 minutes. So what I'm gonna do is I kind of edit this video some for to get to the end a little faster. So this part is going to be pretty much copying the files once again to your hard drive. So once it gets to the end, then we're going to continue with phase 2 of the setup. But this is all phase 1. All right, we are at the end of phase one of setup. So I'm going to have to restart the computer, and we are going to proceed to phase two of the setup. All right, so this is phase two of the setup. This is the part of setup where Windows is going to be setting up any hardware like a plug or play, any additional hardware like networking, stuff like that. So just sit back and relax. Once again, if anything was to pop up, just answer it and keep it moving. All right, so we're doing another restart, and Windows is going to continue to set up as it also loads up. Is the final process of setup is going to be a control panel, um, the menu, start menu, and all that stuff. So we're getting near the end to be complete a phase two. All right, so this is a final restart of Windows 98, and we will be fully booted up to Windows 98 when this restart starts over. All right, so we are at the end of the process, and this is Windows 98 fully booted up, and this has been a successful install. And there we go. We can see the start menu and welcome Windows 98. And there we go. This is Windows 98 fully booted, ready to go. All right. I thank you everybody for watching. This has been Mr. Talented Washington. And until the next video, I appreciate everybody for participating and looking at my videos. And until the next video, I will see you again. Thank you.